Hi, welcome back to Special Populations. This week we're going to be talking about obesity, and you're going to be posting a reflection on that and weighing in on that. Unfortunately, that has become a larger population and something that we really need to especially address because there are needs that an obese person has when they're participating in sport, recreation, and fitness that maybe the average person may not have. And so it's important for you to realize that this is a growing epidemic and it is becoming a special population within itself. We are also going to be working on your outline for your final submission project, where you are going to put together your SRF population, and I've left a skeleton outline there for you to kind of go through, so a guideline, but you're going to be filling that in, so that's going to make your final project a little bit easier when you go to work on that and record that. So you might want to look ahead and check out what that final project is so that you can come back and fill in your outline appropriately. The scripture I have today is talking a little bit about inclusion. You know, the interesting thing when I was getting ready for this assignment is, it amazes me how many careers and professions I come across that have to do with sport, recreation, and fitness, and some that I had never kind of thought about before. And one of them that we address in today's lecture is for those that have been incarcerated or those that are in jail, and how important recreation and fitness is to them. And you might agree or disagree whether that should be part of a jail sentence. But whether you agree or disagree, it is a special population out there that needs attention, and something that if you have a heart to work with those that have been incarcerated. And I know my dad is a preacher, and his gifting is really working with people that have been in jail or that are in jail, has a jail ministry and that type of thing. But it might be something you might want to think about going into, because they do need personal trainers and coaches and that type of thing if they have a good recreational program inside the jail system. It might be somewhere else that you might think about getting a job, especially if your heart gravitates towards that. But it's just something that I really never thought about as a career before, and we talk about that today. I also talk about the military and how important recreation is in the military. This is a really good chapter, that chapter 11. It kind of expanded the way that we look, or the way that I have looked at recreation, some things I hadn't thought about before. And especially even within faith and fitness, I usually just think about faith being incorporated into Christianity, but there's other religions out there that there are things to take into consideration that may not be Christianity, but another faith, like Judaism or Muslim, and they have some things and guidelines that we need to watch out for too when we're putting together programs for other religions. And it's just something I hadn't thought about in depth before, like I did this week when I was getting ready to do that lecture, or as I was lecturing. But the scripture I have for you this week comes from Luke 14:12 and verse 14, and it says, "He said also to the man who had invited him, 'When you give a dinner or a banquet, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or your rich neighbors, lest they also invite you in return and you be repaid. But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you. For you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just.'" What I love about this is that people who know Christ are called to act differently and unexpectedly, that God is inviting us to take a party that includes people of all walks of life, and that we are called to serve without expectation of reciprocation. So it's just kind of food for thought for this week, especially in sports, recreation, and fitness. All right, you have a blessed week.